steering is like all over the place.
So I haven't made a video on the truck in a minute. I think today is actually the day to film something for the truck. Mostly I haven't filmed because we've been working on Caleb's Dart, and so the things I've been doing has just been chipping away a little bit here and there, and so I want to catch you guys up on what we have done and then what we're going to work on hopefully today. So I cleaned up the car intake, and we did all new seals on the injectors and cleaned those out. They're working good now. And then I also took my drive-by cable throttle body and have it mounted on here now. We still got to figure out the throttle cable, but that's ready to go. Also, the bed is off the truck, and we took the bed off, one, so I can clean the frame and paint it up, but also we did pull the pump out, and we changed out the pump to a higher pressure pump, so that should work out for the LS. And I have braided fuel line. What we're going to do is we're going to use the original ports right here on the frame, come up, and I have 90s on the way for these, and that's how we're going to hook that up. We're going to use all the original lines for now, and hopefully that works out. I'm still waiting on fittings to come, so hopefully today we're going to work on figuring out the wiring harness for the most part. So that pretty much catches us up to what I've gotten done on the truck. Not a whole lot, but it definitely looks different, looks more complete, and hopefully after today it'll look even more complete. When Caleb gets over, we're going to be working on his Dart, and hopefully getting some little bit of an exhaust built for it. So we'll see how that goes. So what I've realized is the harness is going to pass through here, so we can tuck our fuses and computer and all inside the cab, and passes through right here where we need to weld up the floor. So rather than the wiring being all in our way and all that, I think the smart plan would be to go ahead and weld up this floor and have that done and out of the way, and then we can move on to wiring. Plus this just needs to be done anyway, so I think that's what we're gonna do. Alright, I've got the floor welded in the truck here. Let me show you guys that. It's nothing pretty, but it's gonna get covered up and it does the job. And we've taken a break from that. We're helping Caleb. We're getting his car ready. The goal is to drive it down the street tonight, hopefully. And yes, so we have to make some exhaust so it's not spilling fumes into the cabin. So I just finished welding up this last one. We needed an O2 sensor because that's one of the reasons it wouldn't idle right. So I just finished welding that on there. Looks pretty good. And they just drop out of the side like that. We just gotta clamp them in place so they don't hang down. And then Caleb's just working on his kick down, and I believe that's everything we gotta do, huh? Pretty much. Air up the tires. The fronts are super cambered right now, but that should work themselves out.
I gotta tighten up one of the steering pieces as well.
Yeah, the front end needs some work, but it should be good for what we're trying to do. So we're gonna get this exhaust on and maybe go down the road. Alright, I've got like 15 different things going on, but I'll show you what I'm working on. I've got the wiring harness started to lay out. I got some of it actually plugged in to the things that I have ready, and then it's like in the cab and all that. We'll focus on that later. what I'm working on right now is the fuel line, because my fittings came in. So I got quick disconnects on here, 90s, and the plan is to run those down here. And I put my alternator and power steering pump bracket on so I could see what kind of room I'm working with. It actually works out because it helps me route it. So it's going to come down here, and then this little spacer is also going to help route. And then I'm using the original S10 lines. They come out of the frame rail right here. So I have these barbed, these are barbed hoses originally. So I'm using AN6 fittings that go onto barbed line, or I guess it converts the barbed line to AN6. And then I've got 45s here just to mock up. I think I'm going to use 45s. The kit that I got came with all kind of fittings, which is pretty cool. So this is going to help clean it up, I think. So yeah, that should route right to that. Stress-free. Come up in here. And then it'll go to that. I might do a 45 off of each of these to get it down into the channel. I don't know yet. Probably not. But that's what I'm working on right now. We're working on getting our hose line cut and ready. The fuel line that I'm running is this Evil Energy brand. I have a 3/8 kit and a 5/16 kit, and then it comes with all kind of fittings. It comes with 4 of these basic ones. It comes with 2 90s, 2 180s, and 2 45s, and it also comes with these little brackets. Pretty cool, and really good instructions. And from what I was looking into, it works with pump gas. It comes with 20 foot of hose. Both of them came with 20 feet of hose, and I think the 5/16 was like $50 and the 3/8 was $60. And I'd say that's pretty good for some AN fitting kit and braided, steel braided hose. What do you think it is?
I don't know. I need to hook up the engine light and see if it has codes, but I think it's running too rich.
It doesn't like it?
I fired the sensor already.
Which sensor?
The O2 sensor. Probably just, it might be the battery's just dying. Could just be that it's low battery.
Alright, so we're getting ready to drive the car again, or attempt to.
3.
Third try. What happened?
4.
Maybe. I'm not pushing in again though. So what happened?
Number 1, car was too low. Corolla sized tires on the front with not maxed out torsion bars equals 3 inches from the ground, and our driveway is very washed out.
Yeah, so we bottomed out, got stuck.
Bottomed out, broke the shift cable, couldn't put it in park, started again.
That. Yep.
Yeah, and ripped the exhaust off. Well, didn't rip it off, it just fell off.
Yeah. And then the second attempt.
Second attempt, got it driving, got everything working, got it raised up, got the exhaust back on, made it up the driveway even without even touching the ground. Got 2 feet from the road, the battery died. Alternator didn't work.
Yep.
Whole time. We've been using the deep cycle battery. It lasted us an entire, like, 50 years at 2 years. Without charging it once. And now we've got a nice shiny turbo alternator on it. Yeah, so hopefully it'll charge. Fixing to run and check that. Then we're gonna try and drive it on the Mexican border roads.
Alright, we finally found a name for the Dart. This is the cursed Dart, because it never gets past this tree on the driveway. Or maybe this tree's cursed.
It can't leave the yard Dart.
Can't leave the yard Dart. So yeah, the first time we tried to get up the driveway, we got stuck right here. We bottomed out. Second time we made it up to the gate, and the alternator was out, so the battery had just finally died. And now he's... What have you been working on?
It doesn't idle. It's possible this engine has been hopped up because it's a rebuilt engine, and I know that the valve springs are bigger than they should be. The idle adjustment screw for the throttle body is exposed, and I've never done that. Usually they have a freeze cap, so I'm thinking it's adjusted wrong. It's an idle stop screw, so but maybe, just maybe, it'll make a difference.
Set the field on fire.
The steering is like all over the place. It is grabbing every rut.
Alright, we just finished the first drive. What do you have to say?
It is terrifying. Steering does not stay straight. I did not accelerate past 15 miles an hour. Probably not even past 10.
Yeah, as soon as he started to go, the steering was like all over the place, which it does have these crazy slicks on there, which might have something to do with it, but
And
what else?
also, it's like driving down the road, so.
True. It needs alignment big time. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do to it.
But we figured out the idle issue.
Yep.
It didn't die after we fixed it. The idle screw was too... The throttle stop screw for when the throttle's closed on the Magnum throttle body usually isn't adjustable, and at some point I think someone has, and it wasn't adjusted enough.
But it's maxed out right now, isn't it?
It's not maxed out. I had to back it off because it was idling at like $2,000.
Oh, okay.
It probably idles somewhere between 1,800 RPM, and it's supposed to idle at like 650.
Well, it sounds really good. Yep. It just needs to drive good now.
Yeah, and your feet get toasty because there's no hole. You can see the exhaust by your feet.
Yeah, a lot to do. A lot to do. All right.
A few big things.
Yep. All right, we're gonna leave this video here. We'll see you guys next time.